Good morning. Reed here. Back at work in 2024. Ready to get going for the day. Nice rainy day today. In the vehicle for a moment because I wanted to read to you from my book. That's right, the name is backwards. Ruminations, Vistas of Perception. This is now up on my Bandcamp page. I got 20 new copies sent in. And you can see that in my merch section. Link in the description below for that. I figured I'd read to you, give you some different chapters out of this during the year. Dusted daybreak opens angles of octagonal orientation to the morning star. Gentle flurries of raindrops give substance to sundries for larks to dance through. They sing the praise of heavenly rays, transmitting life-giving warmth to all that flourish in this world of abundance. In the far distance, dogs howl in anticipation for their coming year, devotion to the direction of diligence as we gracefully accomplish the monumental tasks ahead. When, for seemingly no cause, a lightning bolt of pure purple electric life force flashes across the sky, striking the headwaters deep in the valley below. The crackle, breaking barriers of sound and thought, crosses dimensions, rippling the fabric of space-time where seeds of bodhisattvas are awakened, sent forth to all quadrants of the omniverse, the sparkle of which lands in this palm opened to the sky, dissolves in Dorje fractals, altering my fingerprints as Celtic knots, enlivening elementals in all they touch, dosed with the Midas touch, bringing the sparkle of life through awakened senses, enrapturing worldviews, turning tragedy to good fortune, spreading the wealth throughout the web of life. Thanks for listening to that. Utilizing the pause button this year. How fun is that? Easy editing is the hope. Anyway, thanks for listening to that this morning, and as I get going around Orchestra Farm, checking things out. And it's so warm this year here, which I personally am into. And I had such a lovely break. I take basically from the solstice, happy birthday mom, to the Gregorian New Year off of work, spend time with the family, and we did it in such a way where we barely had to leave the house. And it was incredible to really just have that level of downtime with the family. I got in my studio a fair bit and was working on my next album project, which is coming along quite nicely. Still a bunch more production work that needs to get done on that. And also focused a bit on figuring out how to get my live musical setup to reflect my recorded sound more, to which I think I found the first effects pedal to really make that happen. It requires pitch shifting so that I can play several octaves at the same time, along with some other harmonies, and it's exciting to bring that together. So, things to look forward in the coming months ahead. And one of the things I noticed while on that break, while both playing music for the kids and going on walks and just being available to horse around, was just how much of my life I spend out of the house. And mind you, I spend a lot less than lots of people I know. The pond level here is like, I don't want to get too close to this boundary edge here. Let's see if I can. It is right up there. And more the notion of, I really want to have a good story when I come home. You know, we have whatever takes place in a given year is our story of that year. And so grateful that this past year, one of my brothers came out to visit with his family, so I got to see my niece and nephew, which was fantastic. And then my family took a trip to Toronto to see what my wife's side of the family, which is lovely. as I definitely value my familial connections, and and getting to be with my family over this holiday season and not having anywhere to really go really allowed us all just to drop in so much more with each other. And one of the things that we had to do was recycling. And I was like, you know what, next year I'm gonna do recycling before the solstice, no matter what level it's at, just to make sure that I don't have some ordinary chore-like task to do to take us away from being at home. And by home I mean around the landscape that we live in too. It was nice to get to do a couple little quick projects around the land that we live on, and to walk around and visualize some of what we want to do for growing food near the house this year. To which, if you know about growing food in bales of hay, we're going to get into that right in our zone 1. So, the paths that we take every day. And for me, that would be walking up to my chicken coop. I make sure that everything is going well up there in the morning, and top off their food and water, collect the eggs. And so right on that path I want greens growing. And I'm thinking about doing a bit of an archway between two of the bales, mostly for fun, because that will hopefully engage the children more. And in that I'm just going to set up, like there's that plastic fencing. It's not overly amazing, but it does the basic job. And as Joe Salatin says, before you put up a permanent fence, put up a temporary one. And so I'm going to heed that advice and get my temporary fence up, see if I can hopefully keep out the chickens. My wife doesn't want to do anything until she sees the chickens aren't getting into things. Alright, so here we go. Here's some of the water here at the farm. It's rained a little bit, but it actually hasn't been too wet. Today we're going to get some more rain. But let's in fact walk over this way just to see. And I'm really excited just to have that little bit of extra food growing at home. Because one of the things, no, I don't really see the water here. That's fascinating. Is to the freshest food. And so if you're picking greens and then you have to drive home, they're not as fresh as when you can pick them in your zone 1 and then walk in to your home and prepare them. And that's one of the things in my rich life. And so really looking forward to making that happen. Looking forward to transitioning more to creating more, and ideally making more of my financial contributions to the family through that. First is just to get it up to the hobby level where it's paying for itself, to which I want to send a big shout out to everyone who bought my recent album Life in the Jackalope's Den, or my book, which also had a couple sales this past year. You all are the best. And getting ready to do a couple different, not really different, but a couple workshops this coming year too, to help ground creativity in our lives. And creativity takes a lot of different forms. Like, to say that it has to be music or writing or art in the form of like material manipulation, it's not really the way to look at it. Those things have their place, but making food is a form of art. Even walking is a form of art. And the list goes on and on. In fact, I would add into that breathing. And really hoping to help people flourish overall in their life with this. And you can look forward to more things about that in the coming month and months. With that, I gotta get off. I got a day to get into. Check out the links in the video description to find my album and my book over on Bandcamp. Thanks for watching. Thanks for subscribing. I hope that you all make 2024 your best year yet. And have too much fun.